What's up, guys? Welcome another video here on the YouTube channel. Here, Conor Hayes once again on the Westham chat show. Well, we've got some little bit of no preview recently. In the last few days, it's been quiet in the channel. Sorry about that. We need to get back up and run as well. We end the season on a high, hopefully, on the pitch and of course off the pitch here for me on the previews and reviews and stuff. And we'll get into the new season. Hopefully, going to a few games next season as well. We'll be able to bring you more coverage and more, off the field, talk around. Well, West Ham, really. Joined today by James. Oh, Santa winning 1-0. Joined by James today. Hope you do, man. Fellow Brighton fan down from the South Coast. James, how are you feeling about today's game?
Hi, yeah, James Earl here, Connor, Brighton fan. I'm not feeling confident, mate. We have nothing to play for. We're safe. I think you have everything rides for this game for you. Like, you need European football, and we have nothing to play for. So I think you're going to beat us.
Yeah, I'd like to think that. I mean, we'll bring up some of the stats in a few minutes, but they're not really great facts. We'll go into I think Brighton, I suppose, have a better record against us in the league. We've never beaten them, but we'll go into them now. And we'll quickly speak about them, and we'll talk about lineups and how we both think both teams are going to go for where it's going to be won and lost today. So, I mean, first of all, we're going to start with this fact here: is Brighton have never failed to score in the 7 Premier League meetings at West Ham in the Premier League, which is very worrying. So that means we've never not conceded against Brighton. So it's going to be worrying that to see how we can defence day, because of course West Ham in the last few games, when was the last time we kept the clean sheet? I think it was that 2-0 win against Leeds a few weeks ago. So that's a bit of a worrying fact. Brighton and Hove Albion have won 3 of their last 7 home Premier League games. They drew 2, lost 2, one more than their previous 23 matches at the Amex. So their home form recently has been very good, and look at us the last few games at home. We've lost 1-0 both home to Chelsea, so and Everton. So needs to start, I suppose, scoring goals. I mean, our attacking threat for West Ham hasn't been great recently. Creating chances, struggling to break teams down. And we're going to have to be back to our counter-attacking football today for a Brighton team who control a lot of possession. Anyway, next stat here is West Ham United have only picked up 2 wins in 11 Premier League matches on Saturdays this season. Drew 2, lost 7, a win ratio of just 18%. In only 2 previous league seasons had they a lower win percentage. I mean, West Ham have had a lot of games on the Saturday this year. It looks there we have, but considering our usual Saturday 3 o'clock games and on a regular season, we have played a lot. But in the games we have played in, that's not a great return, is it? So Saturday games haven't been something to be too excited about. I'm trying to think what games we've played on a Saturday and won, and to be honest, I can't really think of unless I can't really think of a game we won on a Saturday. I'm trying to think of any here. No, I can't think of any top of my head. So that's an interesting one. We'll have to find out. But anyway, that is an interesting stat. Next one, of course, here as well. West Ham have won 8 away Premier League games this season, only winning more in 2 top-flight seasons. 10 they got in the 1926-27 season. To do that, they're going to have to win the next 2 out of the final 2 to match that. And then in 9 in the 1986 season, where we finished 3rd, actually better in that season. Of course, we can match that today if we were to win. Let me just plug in the laptop really quickly here. Some other stats as well on the way there is, suppose Brighton shown 6 red cards in the Premier League this season. They're most in a single league campaign since the 2011-12 season, which was 8. We were also in the Championship hilariously that season with them too. And the last time out against Wolves, they had 2 players sent off in the lead. So that's an interesting stat. Brighton, maybe their disciplinary record is something we can catch them out in today, try and get someone sent off. I think 2 of their key players that we'll talk to about in a minute, Mope and Dunker, go out this weekend. 2 of their most important players. So Duncan and Mope, they do normally score against us too. So that's a big loss. And compared to West Ham, officially only 1 red card this season, and that was to Dawson a few weeks back against Newcastle. So cause for concern there maybe for Brighton. I suppose a big one really gives a bit hope, more positive facts for us, not for Brighton fans, unfortunately, though, is Brighton have dropped 23 points in winning positions in the Premier League this season and have lost 5 matches after taking the lead in their first 3 seasons in the competitions. So, to drop 23 points is like doing a Tottenham minute from winning positions, and have lost 5 matches after taking the lead. So I think what West Ham have been good at this season is when we've gone down from behind and we've come back to, like the game against, Burnley, went down against, I think, Palace a few months back. We've been behind a few games and we've come back and won them. And against the Brighton side that we can see here are very vulnerable from doing that. We've got a big chance here to do something like that today. On to more individual players now. Pascal Gross for Brighton has 5 Premier League assists in 17 games in this calendar year in 2021. That's 3 more than any if he managed into 25 appearances in the whole of the calendar last year. The German has also created 44 chances this calendar year, 20 more than last season. So, I mean, he's definitely improved. You don't normally hear about Gross that much, but in these sort of games, if you're looking for one player to stand out, especially with the absences they've had, Gross could be a key player today that we're going to have to watch. And he's a good player in his day. He's in the Premier League for a reason. He's already got more this year than last year, a bit under the radar really. And we got to watch him because he's a key player in his day and a very versatile midfielder. Onto the West Ham facts now. Of course, just get loaded up here quickly. Let me sneeze 1 second. Sorry about that. Just me. So West Ham striker. Thanks, man. West Ham striker Mikel Antonio has been directly involved in 14 goals in his last 13 away Premier League starts, 11 goals and 3 assists. Antonio scored 24 away goals for the Hammers in the Premier League. I presume that's not this season because that would be a bit. I mean, he hasn't got that. Yeah, never mind. But in general, so he's important to our play. He doesn't assist. He just even on top of that, he just is the hold up play. He brings everyone forward. He attacks for us, and he's the main focal point of our team and in our attack. So I mean, to be involved in all those goals in those games means that if he starts, we can win. So that's a really positive hope for today. In this game. Also, West Ham's last win over Brighton came in April 2012 when Ricardo Vasquez hat-tricks off the Seagulls 6-0 at the Bowling Ground. Current first-team coach Kevin Nolan scored a winner in the reverse fixture that season. So, we was a double over Brighton that season. I think I remember that day as well. But in the Premier League, they're not a great team for us. But yeah, we've got to think back nearly 9 years ago to the day, well, it's around the month, till we last beat the Seagulls. So that's a huge, hoodoo over us, really. Come back to that, the match officials in a minute. Amazingly, Brighton's XPTS, so expected points, would have been 58.64, which is 6 more than West Ham, whose XPTDS is 52.40. So if Brighton could actually score their chances, they actually would be probably top half European chasing at football at the moment. So we've got to watch that. Brighton are a good team. Yeah, they're missing players today. Yeah, they're lower in the table, but they got good players, and as you can see there, they'd be way higher if they were to put the ball in the back of the net. Now seeking the first Premier League win over the Seagulls, having lost the first 3 and drawn the last 4, with all 7 matches taking place over the last 4 seasons. So West Ham, unbeaten their last 4 against the Seagulls, but haven't won yet. We were talking about earlier. It's a huge. We'll talk about it in a minute too. Why is that happening, would we say? Is it just a bogus team or is there more? And that's all the facts. And of course, we'll just quickly go over as well here the referee match officials today. So Andrew Marr referee, the assistant referee is Scott Ledger, Simon Long. The 4th official is Simon Hooper. VAR is Paul Tierney. The assistant VAR is Andrew Halliday. So look, it's a huge game today. Hopefully we don't need to use VAR, or the referee is going to be in the centre of attention, hopefully. But it is a massive game for us, and Brighton. They've nothing to play for, but look, they want to play for pride, and they're a good team with good players. They're going to give it to us at home to end off the season. Sorry about that. Anyway, you didn't get a chance to talk to James, but where do you see this game won or lost today from a Brighton point of view?
Look, Connor, mate, they're professionals. They crave winning. They're a big team like West Ham. I don't think we're going to let you win easily, Conor, mate. I think we're going to give you a great game. I think we may be able to get a point out of it, but I think we can really get at you. We play brilliant football. We are your bogey team, as you say, so I think we can maybe get a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've seen that Brighton as well this season. We were talking about a minute ago. They're taking the lead, dropping points from 5 games this season where they've taken the lead. 23 points drop from winning positions. It's a really big gap. Why do you think that is? Is it just literally just down to not being able to score goals? And why do you think you can't find the net in some of these games with the attacking options you've got?
The attacking option, I just don't think we've a good enough attack, Conor, mate. Like Danny Welbeck, Neil Maupay. Actually, Neil Maupay, he's a good goal scorer, but he's not what you see from the top half teams, as you say. But yeah, Trossard is probably our only probably attacking player that could possibly get into the top 6 attacks. But yeah, we don't have a great attack, so that's probably what's letting us down this season and every season.
Yeah, it's a real big one, all right. And as the West Ham, you said there, West Ham, you bogey team against Brighton. Well, the other way around, really. But we'd hoping to end that today. Where do you think this game will be won and lost today? Do you think it's going to be down to chances for both teams? Do you think it's going to be down to that midfield battle, especially for Rice's back up against Basuma? Do you think maybe the injuries might cost Brighton? What do you think could be the big one today?
I think the injuries, losing Dunk and Mopai, they're probably our only 2 players that are going to score goals apart from Trossard. Danny Welbeck could get one, but yeah, I think we're losing it by having Dunk and Mopai out. But you never know, Connor, mate. Stranger things have happened. We might win this game.
Yeah, it definitely could. And your home form, it hasn't been bad. As I said there at the start, your last actually an ad coming up for Brighton West Ham later is coming up the screen there. But you've won your last 3 of your last 7 home Premier League games, so that's definitely a big chance for you today, really, to keep kicking on, especially with fans back for your game. It was against Man City during the week, so that'll be a big one, indeed. I suppose also now we go on to team news today, and we've spoken about Brighton's injuries. You're hoping to bring back the likes of Veltman and Lallana, but I think Proper's still out for you. You've got the likes of Dunk out, Maupa is out. There's plenty of ones out, I think, as well back there. For you, Lamptey's out. Yeah, you've got there's plenty of out for you, and I think with us, the only potential absence for us today is going to be Artur Masuaku, who's out for the rest of the season, who we've been already out with for now. So overall, I think the confidence is in the West Ham camp, despite losing 3 of our last 4 Premier League games. There, the only 1 win coming against Burnley back 2 weeks ago away from home. So we could really do well. West Ham in their black and gold kit again today only lost 1 game this season wearing that, and that was a game against City. We lost 2-1 away from home, and even in that game we played really well. So the black kit is definitely going to hopefully give us the win today. Of course, team news now. We'll go to lineups. Of course, that's the West Ham's team news there. But lineups, I'm going to do my usual predicted clash, preferable lineup, and then I'll go to your bright potential lineup there if you've got a preferred one there. In goals for West Ham, Fabianski, I think I'm going to go with first, and I'm going to go. I think we're going to go with in left back. I would go obviously back 4. Cresswell left back returns after being injured last weekend. Coming off. Right back, I would probably go with Koufal as usual. 2 centre backs. Ogbonna's supposed to be back, so he'd come straight in with Dawson beside him. They'd have performed a good partnership, but with each other back before during Christmas and before when they just after Christmas, I think, when Dawson came into the team and before Ogbonna got injured, they played really well beside each other. Midfield, Rice and Souček have to come in there, especially Lanzini getting injured last weekend. Noble injured still. Rice has to come in, injured or not. Then out in the wings, Benrahma, Fornals and Lingard have to be in front 3. Harsh and Bowen did well last weekend, but I'll bring him on again if he needs to. And Antonio leads the line after he's pivotal to our play. What I think Moyes is going to go for today, I think he will go for the back 4. He's going to have to go for it, won't he? I think the back line will stay the same, as I said there. In midfield, I think he's going to go with Rice and Souček. I think he's going to go with Fornals, Lingard and Benrahma, and I think he's going to go with the same lineup, and it's rare to say that. I think he will. I think he's going to have to start definitely Fornals. Obviously, he's going to start Lingard. And I think he's going to give Benrahma another chance. These few games are big for him. He knows how much it is, and he's done well recently. And the fact he started back-to-back after, not getting dropped the last day, he shows these signs of potential and proof there that he wants to get him, first goal for the club, and maybe that'll calm down a bit then, being so eager. Brighton's lineup today, what would you say potential lineup could be?
I think we're going to line up in a 3-4-1-2. I think Sanchez in goal, White, Webster and Byrne, the 3 centre-backs today. Gross out right, Lallana and Basuma in the midfield. By the way, the best midfield partnership in the league. Moda out left, Trossard playing that cam role, feeding in Welbeck and our main man Jahan. I think it's a good lineup, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's a very interesting lineup. As you said there, without your, few suspensions, injuries, and all that, you're still a very good team. Do you think that, we're going to pick up three players, I think, now, and you're going to say, do you agree with me or not? For both sides. I think for Brighton's point of view, the three players I think we got to watch out today is Leonard Trossard, really good player, the Belgian, plays even at international level now, scored a goal recently in the qualifiers for them, and, he's a really key player for them. Also, I think a key player we're going to have to watch for today, of course, in the midfield is Jan Basuma. Got a little light recently, and despite the top clubs are looking for him, he's a really good player. And the second player, I think, is Moder, scored for Poland against England in Wembley recently. He can play versatile across the midfield and the defence, and he could be a really key player for Brighton today, and suits their style of play really well. For West Ham, I think the three players, if you're looking out for our point of view, to watch out for today. I mean, who's the three players that you'd be worried about personally today to watch out for?
I think for West Ham, probably Souček in the air. I'd say, is Bowen playing?
He hasn't been playing recently, so probably not, no.
Then maybe Ben Rama and Mikel Antonio's not bad either. Yeah, those three players. Lingard, forgot Lingard.
There's a lot in there, yeah. We'd have to see, can we put it onto the pitch today, really, and leave everything out there. Do you, from corners and set pieces, I mean, we haven't really done much from this season yet. Well, in recent times, defensively we've been okay from them, but attackingly we haven't scored much recently from them. How do you feel Brighton fare with set pieces like that? Do you've got a few tall men like Byrne and stuff in there. Do you think you're a confident team from them?
Yeah, I think we do well in set pieces. It helps when you've Dunk and all, but I think even without Dunk, we still do good in set pieces. Mr. Potter practices them all the time. We're great at them.
And one more final question here would be, what attracts you the most about Potter's style of play and the way Brighton actually play? What's the best thing about them?
I just ever since that man came into the club, it's just been a joy to watch. The way we play football, we can go at big teams. Do you remember the game against United? We went at them. We should have won. We got robbed. The league's corrupt. We got robbed. But anyway, those kind of games is what I look forward to. I love watching those games, going at the big teams. We're not like boring Burnley sitting back. We are going at teams. We're showing our class, and it's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, you've been a good team, and you saw the expected goals this season. You should be way higher in the league, way more goals, and and today you could find the net and you get a few. So it'd be very interesting indeed. West Ham going for Europe. We'll win today. We're one step in it. If we lose today, it's very dodgy. A draw wouldn't be great for any of us. So let's just hope we can end the season high for all different reasons. Thanks for coming on the channel today. Hope you did enjoy. And score predictions before we go. What were you saying tonight for the Brighton fan here, James?
I go on either 3-2 West Ham or 2-2.
All right, I'm gonna go. My nervous bet is a 2-1 Brighton win, but that's my just nervous bet. I put in there always, but I think we'll score goals this evening. Brighton will be hard. We'll hit them on the counter. I don't think we'll lose. I think we'll get at least a point, and I'm going to go 2-2. I'm very nervous for it. I think it'll be 2-2 draw. I think there'll be goals in that, and Brighton will hit back in the end. I like the reverse fixture back in London Stadium just before Christmas. So, look, it'll be a huge game. Both sides have a lot to play for. Brighton, of course, not as much, but they still have to, play out the season well with fans returning to the home game into City during the week. And, West Ham, there's pressure on them now. So let's see what happens. Hopefully it'll be a good game, and we'll see after the final whistle. Thanks for coming on anyway, James, today. Hope you did enjoy. And for any West Ham fans, we're back after the pre-match review and the big build-up show to the game this evening. Live watch along from 7:30 p.m. ahead of the 8 p.m. kickoff on the channel. Hope you do enjoy, guys. And click that video if you did. Great. Pretty videos, guys, and comment as well for anything else. So until next time, guys, take care and peace. And I think I have to say, come on, you Irons.
Come on, Brighton.